It's Talking with Mr. Steve. We're talking about TV tech, a little bit from my history. Plus, we're going to church. Behind the scenes in the church AV department, watching to see how they get it done Sunday after Sunday. I call him Mr. Production, the person you call when you want to get it done in the event production world. All right here on Talking with Mr. Steve. The world can be a better place when there's talking going on. Welcome to Talking with Mr. Steve. Hello and welcome to this edition of Talking with Mr. Steve. You know, every Sunday morning, millions of people walk into the church and feel something. The music moves them. The message hit home. But they don't always see the folks making it possible that's behind the scenes. Today, we're going to shine a light on a very special person making it happen at the mighty St. Mark Baptist Church in Little Rock, Arkansas. Hey, Tiffany.
Hello.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
You know, I'm doing good. I am doing good. You know, you could have been anywhere else, but I just want to thank you for stopping by today to talk about AV ministry. Tell us, how long have you been involved in AV ministry? Tell us a little bit about that.
It's so funny because I started volunteering as a teenager. And so last year I turned 40 and I hit 20 years working in ministry professionally last year. So this year will be year 21.
Whoa. So you've been doing it for 5 seconds.
Yeah, right. Only half my life.
Now, you know, we got to get into the roots of this thing. Tell us a little bit about building a strong team, you know, for the AV ministry. What does it take trying to build up a strong team?
I would say number one, it takes a lot of prayer. One thing my team knows about me is I won't ask them to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. We train in every area that we have. So my mentor is Kevin Noble. He's a radio TV background, so he used to do all of this, and he's the one that really trained me up in what I do. So now he's our team trainer. So when we get the people in, we really sit them with him, and he helps them to understand the importance of what we do within media and worship at St. Mark.
Audio, sound, being able to hear, you know, and tell us, how important is it to you to have great sound in the sanctuary?
Woo. That is probably one of the most important aspects of what we do. That's how the word goes forward. That's how the worship goes forward. I have 4 part-timers here, and my sound engineer is the highest paid because that's how important it was for my senior leaders. The sound, that's how important it was for them. So much so that right now we're working on getting some acoustic treatment. Our church was not created for our style of worship. It was created for pipe organs. So there's a lot of wood everywhere, sound going all over the place. It's really loud, to be quite frank. And it's just because of the infrastructure. So we're looking at some kind of acoustic treatment to kind of help that. The biggest thing for me when it comes to anything in production, we should not be a distraction. Our job is to be invisible. When people start noticing us, that's when we know we're doing something wrong. So we're looking now to get it treated, but it's a really important part of worship. That's how people receive what they need.
Yeah, and video too, I guess, right?
Yep.
Now, you know, I'm going to ask a big question that a lot of the viewers probably want to know.
Okay.
Should AV members get paid or just all be volunteered?
Well, listen, depending on what they do, they should get paid. Like I said, we have 3 full-time staff members in media. We have a design specialist, a media specialist, and myself, technical director, which I'm responsible for everything. And then I have four part-time paid staff. So I have a sound director, assistant sound director, audio director, and a video director, engineer. So these are people who are paid, and the rest are volunteers because they're not required to be here. Volunteers can come when they want. My paid staff has to be here every Sunday. So if they're there every Sunday, hey, I always say my philosophy is you put people before equipment, and that's what sometimes we get wrong.
Yeah, you can have the best equipment in the world, but if you don't have the right person in there,
Exactly.
and I guess in the spiritual aspect of that whole situation, all your team has to be prayed up before every service starts. Woo! Because yeah, I was watching a YouTube show this morning, and of a guy that I respect, and he came on the air. No audio. I was like, oh my goodness. You gotta have that stuff right. You gotta have that stuff right. Now, fast forwarding in.
Okay.
Does AI help or hurt you? And how have you incorporated that into your whole scope of stuff?
Listen, I had a member that actually got upset with me for using AI. And I had to explain to her that due to certain aspects of people, they're not as reliable as you would like them to be. AI is there. So I actually use AI for our voiceovers. I was having scheduling issues. I would schedule people, they didn't show up, or they were changing their times, or they wanted to do it after work hours. Like, it just became a lot. And we found a website, and they got about 4 Black voices now, so we're good, That's one thing is hard to find us in that space a lot of times. But I use AI for voiceovers here at the church, and the more I use it, the more it learns the way we do things, and it works really well. Our church management software that we're switching to, they built in AI subclass. They built in AI into that, and it's made things a whole lot easier. Like when we want to find out information, we used to have to create like formulas for it. Now you just ask the AI, hey, I need all the members in the church from 18 to 35. And it'll create a form to get it for us. So we are definitely leaning into it. We use it for our social media. And no, we don't use it for graphics.
Oh, uh-huh. Well, I'm going to. Well, I'm going to, I usually don't, but I'm going to say it because it's you.
Okay.
This little guy right here, let me see if I can get it right. Right here. My little artificial friend helped me with that. And
I think that simple stuff like that, I think it's good. When you're talking about like sermon series graphics, it doesn't really work well for them.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work well for them. But I think you use it where it works well for you. And then
Yes.
AI is just like Google. It's another resource.
It's a tool.
It's a tool.
It is. And I tell you, now, the old clock on the wall, but it wouldn't be right if I did not say that that greatness runs in your family. There was a young man that I had a chance to work with downtown, and Al, your cousin,
That's my cousin.
yeah, what an amazing production executive, sharp. Thank you so much. I can't even thank you enough for stopping in today to talk a little bit about the greatness of Church AV and the way you guys do your thing over there. And I've had the privilege of stopping in a couple times. And here comes the story. I was sitting in the back. I think my granddaughter was getting baptized that particular Sunday.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is how important AV tech is actually working there. And this is a real story. I was sitting in the back and, she was getting ready to go up and get baptized. I was like, okay, I'm good. Lady in front of me stands straight up, right directly in front of me. What do I do? I'm looking at the screens. So I'm telling you that
We're not missing a baptism candidate. We're going to get all the way in there.
I'm telling you, the tech actually works. Thank you very much for stopping in today. I just want to say thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much.
All right. And we'll be right back after this. I just want to jump in right now just to say, hey, if you're enjoying the content that we're providing right now, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a show. And, we're going to be doing it right here on Talking with Mr. Steve. I've always enjoyed talking about television technology because I had the chance to watch it evolve firsthand, living in the moment. I remember the first time I saw digital video. Yeah, I remember seeing that video for the first time being called down to the monitor at one of the TV stations that I worked at. We all got called in, say, hey, we want you guys to look at this new technology. And they put the monitor on, they hit the button, and boy, did it look good. It looked so good. It looked like we're just all looking out of a window to the outside. I mean, it was crisp and clean, and like it was so much better than what we've been working with. And I think I remember somebody mentioning it. Hey, we could record something here and say it was live. Yeah, they would never do that, or would they? Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was a piece of technology, a TV technology that I really liked, and that was the switcher, the television switcher. In some parts of the world, they call it the vision mixer. And it's a box that where all the cameras, graphics, it's all those elements come into a box. And you could switch between them. Matter of fact, I've got a picture of a couple right here. It's not a picture. These are real deals sitting here on my desk. So I can put my hand over there, touch them. And so portable. I mean, you can just pick these things up. You could stream. You can do all these things. And compared to the big giant guy that I used to work way back in the day, the Grass Valley 300 is what we learned on. And, speaking of that particular switcher, there was a young man at the time who I really looked up to because, when you look at extraordinary technicians, this guy was one of them. His name was John. His name is John Archie. And what a guy over at the station down there in Sacramento. Super technician. I used to kind of see him from afar, really knocking it down. I mean, they'd have presidents coming to the station, and he would be the guy that would be called in to punch those shows. And, what a guy. To all the folks back there at that particular channel. And that takes me to the next form of production and TV tech. And that's the TV tech that's used at what they call the event production. That's where the big companies come together and they have these big events where they need so much tech. You almost need the giant crews and stuff like that just to be able to get this thing done. And that is what brings me to my next guest. I call him Mr. Production because he's the kind of guy that you call when you really want to get it done. Hey, Richard, what's going on, man?
Oh, I'm doing good, Steve. How about yourself?
Hey, man, I'm just trying to keep up, man. And I heard you're doing some great things down in Texas, is what I'm hearing about. And hey, I want to be able to get to the fun and stuff, man. And but first of all, because as you know, we're talking about AV production, but from my memories, which is pretty good, you were the man doing real event production. Tell me what, from your perspective, what is real event production?
And that's kind of varied, okay, but and there are kind of varied aspects of it. Um, Biggest thing I did was taking gear around the country, in parts of northern in Canada, into Canada and North America, and doing basically all kinds of shows, everything from music events, stage. I've had Grammy Award winners on my stage. I've had Nobel Peace winners on my stage, and I do call it my stage, okay, because I put it up there and I run it. The people that come on stage, they just there for a minute. But really, event production is being able to take gear and do an event. It doesn't matter what the event is, whether you have dancers or whether you have lecturers, and making that event spectacular for the person that is putting on the event and the person that is sitting in the audience. You can never forget your audience because that's who you're doing it for. It's the audience.
Wow. Now tell me, and do it with a smile. Tell us, tell me a quick story about a show that you remember, or that, with a smile, your best show. And who was it, if you mind saying their name?
There kind of best show things, kind of, if I can say like my best concert, okay, would I probably have to say Chaka Khan, in New Orleans, at the Hyatt. That's probably my best show, far as the concert goes. And that was a charity event for the Mayor's Mass Ball, which is a charity event they do every year, actually across the country. I think it's 5 or 6 cities that participate in it. And for 7, 8 years, I produced a show in New Orleans. Chaka Khan was probably my most pat myself on the back show. It went beautiful, sounded beautiful, and everybody had a good time.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now tell me, did you have crews that you brought in, or you had this team that traveled with you, or did you hire them there, on site when you get in town?
I took and what because the company I work with, I took leads with me. So I took basically myself and 3 people: a lighting lead, a video lead, and an audio lead. Um, I also designed my projects with these people in mind and what we could do. And we hired local crew then to set up and operate and then strike the shows. So basically, I had a crew of 3, and the tighter you stay, it's like kind of any kind of a team. Okay, the longer you stay together, you get to know how each other works, and you build a very strong foundation. And so with myself and those 3 leads, I felt very confident being able to really take gear to any city and do what it is we were needed to do.
Ooh. And since you're a production guy, I feel very comfortable at asking, what is your favorite piece of gear that saved the day for you time after time?
There's not a because gear is not a favorite piece of gear. It's how you use that gear. Okay. Um, because it's just like a Ferrari. Okay, you can have a Ferrari and drive it on the streets, and top speed limit is 70 miles an hour, or you can take it to the track and you can let it run. Okay, so gear is so the question is. What's kind of the most I've ever kind of maxed gear? Okay, here's a good one for you. Um, Line arrays, concert line arrays have been around for some time. In the early 2000 aughts, what came out were skinny line arrays, much smaller cabinets, okay, not really made for concerts, but excellent for speech.
Gotta make sure the world knows you're talking about audio.
I'm talking about audio, and some of your people might want to look this up, and they're going to probably doubt this, but I got backup for it 'cause my audio guy will back me up. We threw 2 columns of speakers 200 feet, no delays. Sounded beautiful. This was in McCormick in Chicago. Okay. Um, that was probably stretching it to the limit, was a line array. I think we had 18 speakers on each side, but it was technically just speech. So it was a medical conference, and that was like one of the stretching it to the limit. That's taking the Ferrari down the track at top speed. Okay.
Okay. Now, Mr. Dye, I understand that you're on a new path now. You're doing something a little, well, I'm kind of going down that path, but a little off to the right a little bit. Tell us about what you're doing now that's going to force me to bring up some of these web pages and stuff like that. What's flying right now?
Well, what's flying right now is something that really was an unexpected path for me. Um, just like coming to Texas, I did not expect to get into, but I discovered the AV world and live stage production. Um, I have so as of March of this year, I kind of retired, officially got out of working for anybody else. Okay, tired of that game. And my motto has always been Diamond Vision making you look good. Um, so what I decided to do was say, okay, let's make me look good. Okay, I made a little short film. I ventured into a short film project. Um, and I produced a short film, which is different than producing an AV gig or producing a music video. It is a short film.
Something similar
I
it
have
is.
this. It is similar. This is based on that theme. Yes, Soul Writer, Dick Diamond Soul Writer. Um, to get an honest opinion of it, because you really can't get an honest opinion from your friends and families. You really can't. Okay, no matter how you will always they will always be biased. So I entered my film into film festivals, unanonymous, anonymous judging, and just based on the product itself.
Boom.
I have been amazed, boom, at the response. Okay, um, the contests we have entered, the ones we have won, and I've won in different categories. I've won as producer, I've won as best original score, I've won
Wow.
as experimental film, I've won as best short film, won as best soundscape. Okay, um, and these are all things services that say that I do at Diamond Vision. Is like, okay, I need to do something to show off what I really can do. Um, and Hope introducing Dick Diamond has been, for me, that well accepted. It's been very well accepted, actually, more than I could imagine.
You know,
Okay, now
when I look at this thing here, it's 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 11. You sounds like you've been around the block a few minutes.
this is this is only the first part of this year. So I just
Whoa.
entered festivals this year. So that's just been in the past 5 months that it has garnered that kind of attention in the past 5 months. So what I've done is like, okay, I need to ride this train. Okay. Um, because you got to ride the wave. Okay. And so
Absolutely.
what I've done is I've reached out in a couple different avenues as far as funding goes, far as getting, grants. I've reached out to production companies. I reached out to couple of Hollywood markets. Okay. Do I have a product here that is marketable? Do I have a marketable product? That is what I wanted to understand.
Wow.
Um, what I have gotten back is I have been taken under the mentorship of a group that basically they're giving me every opportunity and every tool that I need to finish my screenplay. They like my concept, they like my storyline, but it needs to be, in the format that's acceptable to Hollywood.
Now,
Um,
that leads me to my next question for you. Has AI played a part? Does it help or hurt?
AI is like any other tool. Okay. Um, you can take a crescent wrench and you can tighten something down, and you can beat somebody across the head with it. Okay. AI is a tool. And the only time I've used AI where it helps in production, in production, it helps with programming lights and audio things. That's a whole lot quicker now. Programming that kind of stuff. where you can map stuff out and you can basically let the computer do it. You don't have to do as much math. Okay, the computer will do the math for yourself. I don't like AI in writing because it's fake. Okay, and I think you should write from the heart. So I don't use AI in writing. I don't use AI in writing.
I see. Now, I was debating whether I was going to do this or not, but I've decided I was. I want you to identify this photo that I'm going to show you. Oh, do you remember this?
Dude, I have this. That's the Grass Valley. I'm going to say a 300 ME switcher. I have this picture in my garage.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I have my Grass Valley story, and where as the folks may not know, that was one of the switchers that I had to learn when I was first beginning. And
that was the switcher. That was the switcher.
And I remember, and you may remember this also back in I think that was in Sacramento. I had to take a test to be able to use that switcher, and I just remember some of the directors at the time. Oh, we're gonna get him. We're gonna try to mess him up, and I remember and I remember you came to my aid back then to really help me move along in the switcher world, and I've always wanted. I never got a chance to thank you, sir, for helping me make it. Learn how to punch the shows, learn how to switch, and just be a professional. And I wanted to say in front of the world, Mr. Richard F. Dye, thank you. I appreciate you the whole 9 yards, because in a world that doesn't want you to be what you can be, you helped me be what I can be. I wouldn't be here right now for some of the stuff that you did for me, bro. That's right.
Appreciate it.
My take of the day, sir. Mr. Richard Dye, I just want to say thank you for coming on with us today, talking about production, and all the fun that goes along with that, sir. Sharing your world with us, and with that, I say thank you.
Anytime, Steve.
I just want to jump in right now just to say, hey, if you're enjoying the content that we're providing right now, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a show. And, we're going to be doing it right here on Talking with Mr. Steve.